Hey everybody, welcome back to the basement. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out one of the nicest sets that Lionel has come out with in a very long time. It's an affordable price. It's a great legacy set. I'm thrilled to have it here on the layout and a new member of my collection. And it is the nickel plate fast freight set. And this came out in the 2024 Volume 1 catalog from Lionel. And it features an amazing assortment of cars and a great legacy Burke locomotive. And we're going to check it out here. So let's go. All right, so let's go back to the Volume 1 2024 catalog from Lionel. We had already heard of the triplexes being issued in that catalog because they had done like the Vision Line release in like November or so of 2023. So that was the headliner in this catalog. Then we had the Hiawatha's in this catalog as well, and obviously we had the legacy Burkes, including the Polar Express and all the nickel plate Burkes. We go through the catalog all the way back past the diesels. They had their high-end freight or high-end sets, and in that section was this. This is the fast freight set. It features the legacy Burke locomotive that you see here. It features a Vision stock car, a hotbox reefer, the trailer on flat cars, and then a sound box car, just a regular freight sounds box car, and a Vision Line caboose. So if we add that up, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total cars, so 6 boxes inside this giant box. And of those 6, 5 make sounds. So let's break this down. This set from the catalog, if we're looking at the catalog together here, we can see this MSRP for $24.99.99. So that is not cheap. I'm not saying that it's cheap. However, let's break this down and look at all the pieces. Legacy Burke's MSRP for $16.99. Let's call it $1,700. So $1,700 of this is just going to be coming from that. That's well over half the cost of the whole set, right? So now we're $1,700. So we're left with, what is that then? $800 left in just rolling stock. So let's break this down. First thing is we have the Vision stock car. Now the Vision stock car comes in 3 packs. In those 3 packs of Vision Line stock cars, you usually get 1 sound car and then 2 just regular stock cars. They don't have any guts in them at all. So really what you're paying for is the Vision stock car. Those MSRP, that 3-pack, for $499.99. So we'll call it $500. Now, let's assume average rolling stock cost is about $89 or so. Let's call it $100 MSRP for the sake of argument. So take $200 off that 3-pack stock car price. So we'll call it $300. So now $1,700, $300, $2,000 that we've spent so far. Now, we've got the hotbox reefer next. The hotbox reefers, MSRP for $299. So now we're at $2,300. And we've got the engine, stock car, hotbox reefer, $2,300. Next, we've got the flat car. So the flat car, the TOFC flat cars go for $160. All right, so $160. So we're at $2,460 now, $2,460. Then we have the Freight Sounds box car. Freight Sounds box cars from Lionel, if I can pull one up here, are $219.99. We'll call it $220. Okay, so we were at $2,460 before, so $2,480, $2,680. Let's call it $2,650 for the sake of argument. $2,650 so far. Last thing is we have the caboose. This is a Vision N6B cabin car. It is $299. So I think we said we're at $2,650. So now we're at $28. No, that's not true. $2,950. So $2,900 we'll say if you add all these things up separately. And this set is $2,499. So it's already a really great price, but it gets better. Train World has this on sale right now, February 12th, 2025. For $1,999, so $1,999. We'll call it $2,000 for the sake of argument. That's $900 off if you were to break this apart and do all these things separately. That's a great deal. So this is an expensive set that I did not pre-order, and I always talk about budgeting and things like that. But I recently sold a pretty big set to one of the viewers of the channel, and so because I sold that, I was able to have some money to then acquire this set. And to be honest with you, it's a little bit of a gift to myself. As some of you may have known, I've said this before on the channel for the last 4 years almost, that I've been working on my doctorate. I started this process of working on my doctorate in the fall of 2021. Here, just on the 10th of February 2025, I finally defended my dissertation. My dissertation focus was on school culture, post-pandemic school culture and job satisfaction. And it was a great process. It was a long process, but I defended my dissertation. I'm officially done, officially Dr. Chris's trains and things now. And so this was kind of a little like gift to myself, I think, after finally completing that process. So that is why this, I think, means a little bit more to me too, because I feel like it's just like a big pat on my own back, I guess. Maybe that's selfish, but it's a pretty cool set. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I am totally sold on these fast freight sets. Yes, they're more expensive from the get-go, but man, I don't have any nickel plate road rolling stock in my collection except for one caboose that I picked up at Stockyard Express when I was out there. It was a Stockyard exclusive. I figured I have to have it. One day I'll get a nickel plate Burke, and now I do, but I also don't have any other nickel plate freight. And now I've got all of these great cars. The best thing is because they all but the flat car make sound, this thing sounds like a true freight train as it rolls down my model railroad. And because there's so many sound cars in here, we can begin to add other bits and pieces of rolling stock and spread the sounds out. And it's just going to make it that much of a cooler, neater, realistic experience. And I got to tell you, I was not sold on these hotbox reefers when they were cataloged for like the $3.99 or $2.99, however much they cost. They're actually pretty cool, and I very much enjoyed having this car on this train as I've been playing around with this and learning how it works. We're going to break all these things down probably separately. We're going to just focus on the full set today, and then we'll look at just the rolling stock in a separate video. We're going to highlight it all here, but we'll talk about all the features that they have later on. But really cool, great sets. There's another one coming out from the last catalog with the Vision GG1s. So that would have been the volume 2, I believe, of 2024. That's the GG1. I think it's a fast freight set also. That's got another great selection of sound cars with it. I might be in on one of those. That might be a game time purchase at a hobby shop though, because I just spent a bunch of money on this. But great deal on a great set, and thank you to the boys at Train World for hooking me up with a great price. And this was on sale. It's on sale now. There's 2 more there. Grab them before they're gone. All right, so let's get a little bit closer. We'll look at the Burke. I'm not going to go into the history of the Burke. We'll talk a little bit about the nickel plate, since this is the first actual nickel plate engine that I have in my set. And we'll briefly look at all the cars, and we're just going to enjoy this thing running around the layout, listening to those fantastic sounds. And then, as I said, in a future video, we will have, we'll look at all these pieces of rolling stock, how we get them all into the remote, into the cab 2. And we're really using the train link button on this one because all of these cars, they're so great to interact with as this train's going down the track. So here we have, this is the Legacy Berkshire locomotive. Berkshire is a 284 locomotive. And this is number 779 that came with this set. And Lionel cataloged a bunch of different nickel plate Burkes in this catalog. So, you can go ahead and get 765, which is one of the more famous ones because that's the one that runs excursion service out of the museum out over there in Ohio. I hope to get out there and visit with my buddy Jason at some point here soon. Maybe this summer we'll get out there and we'll get some footage of that museum. But let's just briefly talk about the Nickel Plate Road. The Nickel Plate Road was the New York, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad, abbreviated NYC and STL. So you'll see that on the top of the coal bunker there on the tender. But the reporting mark was NKP and got referred to as the Nickel Plate Road. I'm sure there's a better story behind that, but we're not going to get into it today. It was constructed in 1881 along the south shore of the Great Lakes with the main goal of connecting Chicago and Buffalo. So just right along the coast of Lake Erie all the way into Buffalo and then across to Chicago to compete with the Lakeshore and Michigan Railway. In 1964, the Nickel Plate ended up merging with the Norfolk and Western Railway. It was not alone in that. A lot of other carriers merged into the N&W at the same point in time. The goal of the NNW expansion was to be more competitive and successful, serving 14 states and the Canadian province of Ontario. So thank you to Wikipedia for this very quick synopsis of the nickel plate road. Now, one of the cool things with these nickel plate Berks is you do have the Mars light on the front of the locomotive. You've got the flying number boards out in front of the smoke box. They're just such a classic looking steam locomotive. I think Lionel's always done a really nice job with these Berks. These do have whistle steam. I had the same release Berk, obviously, my Polar Express that I just got that we reviewed back in December. Now, the only issue that I have is sometimes the whistle steam output seems a little low. I don't know if it's a kinked pipe or what. That would probably be my only complaint. One of the things I did was ask my buddy from Instagram, Train Wizard Productions. I asked him about this set because I saw he had posted on Instagram. So before I bought it, I wanted to reach out to him to see what he thought. And he's a big nickel plate guy, probably the biggest nickel plate guy. He said it's a great set. He said the only issue with the locomotive is that this engine designation that we have here on the cab is wrong. It should be an S-3 because the 770 to 779 locomotives were S-3s, not what is coded on here. And then the serial number from Lima is incorrect on this locomotive as well on the builder's plate. Now, builder's plates are here, and you need almost a magnifying glass to be able to read them. So I'm not overly concerned about that, or the fact that the engine designation or locomotive designation is wrong there. And that's probably the wrong term that I'm even using. It's pretty small font, so it's not too big and noticeable for me. And again, I'm not a diehard nickel plate fan, so not something that is a selling point or a non-selling point for me. Lionel used the same ones for all the Berks that they did, including 765, which has the correct designation number on it.
Train 1 brakeman, let's get an application for continuity test. Good application. Okay to release. Train 1 brakeman, we have good set, good release, good continuity on timetable train number 1. Over. Yeah, that's Roger. Good set, good release, good continuity on timetable train number 1. Out.
All right, boys, round them up and herd them in. Switch those gates. They're getting even more confused. Nicely done.
This is the Yardmaster. You are cleared to depart east on signal indication. Over. Thank you much. Cleared outbound. Out. Dispatcher, train is moving. Over. Have a good run. Out.
Turn 96 to 129, you look good on the roll by.
Careful there, it's the blazer. Flames jump out all over the place. Watch out, flames are shooting out from the other side too. Let's pull this car out of the train and onto the siding. Whew. Great job, guys.
Dispatcher, train is outbound. Over. Have a safe run. Out.
Timetable says we gotta clear up for 43 by 13:20. Still better shovel some more coal in this thing.